Hello, everyone. It's Dave. Um, Not had a good week this week because of all of the violence and tragedy that seems to be going on everywhere. And I think what we need to talk about today is putting um, psychological treatment or techniques for kids in schools because the fear level keeps rising. And what I mean by that is if you look on one side, you have a crazy conspiracy theory involving sacrificing children, drinking blood, pedophilia, screaming that, that is what is going to happen to you soon. A bunch of foreigners are going to come across the border and rape and murder you, commit crimes, get your kids on drugs. And then on the other side, you've got everybody is a neo-Nazi because they voted this particular way. Uh, you can't trust the police because the police will kill you. Um, and then, I mean, you just can look everywhere, and that's what people seem to want to do. I feel that um, children and adults are not equipped to handle this kind of fear mongering. They turn on the TV or open their phone or their internet, and they're instantly terrified. Because I don't know about you, but the news feed on my phone is going constantly. It beeps all the time with breaking news, breaking trauma, because that's what it is. Watching that procession for the policeman who was killed yesterday, I started crying. The I didn't feel bad. People in the room with me were crying. It was horrible. So we need to start looking um, at ending homelessness by ending pressure and making people aware of mental illness, when it can happen and what happens when it does. That would be nice if children knew that. So maybe the police wouldn't need to be called in a mental health emergency because people would already know what to do when an autistic child was having a meltdown versus someone who was suicidal because of an ideation their schizophrenia had given them. It just might be nice. I mean, we're training them how to do industrial things. Wouldn't it be nicer if we changed while we train people how to interact with each other? What if there were more anti-bullying classes and more cooperative education? I can remember the military was a perfect example of that. And I realize there's risks in things like ropes courses, adventure things that build bonding experiences. But there are other not dangerous things that you can do. I am a big fan of a game called Sentinels of the Multiverse. It's a superhero game where everybody plays a superhero to fight a supervillain. What makes this game unique is you do not win by winning, you win by cooperating with everybody else. I think we need to start looking at a little bit different way of raising us from the beginning because the fear is never going to go away now. There is no escape from the fear. Okay? I'm having meltdowns because of it. I suffer from depression and anxiety. So when you're out there, chill out, meditate. If you have a friend who is going to go to a rally, remind them that every time you go to a rally, there will be morons with violent ideas coming to your event. And you need to be prepared for that. Because, for instance, I live in Portland. So the protesters go home about 10 o'clock, and that's when the morons show up. That's true also with any kind of Trump rally. Um, there were thousands of people outside the Capitol shouting "Steal the vote," and they were like, "Oh my God, there's morons going into the building. What do we do?" We decrease the fear level. Okay? Think positive things, say positive thoughts, because the cops are deathly afraid. Every time you interact with someone who has a mental health issue and you're completely untrained, you don't know what to do, you know? But maybe if you had learned in your third grade class for the first time about dealing with people who had mental health issues, you wouldn't be so quick to really, reach for the gun. So I want everyone to have a great week. I'll see you next week. And stop people that you know from doing silly things. I'll see you later.